So I'm gonna stream more of Lucid9 and see if I can get into the more horror aspects of the game. Load. The music in the game is good though. Just gonna say that right now. That one. Okay, so just continuing on where I last left off. There's that weird detective lady who talked to us on our way home, and now we're back at our apartment and the dude's friends came. Sup, man? Delivery has arrived. I didn't order anything. Yahiko only points at my phone. Oh, I moved that off the screen. Wow, nice phone. I don't know, would you go to the moon without AC? Is somewhere hot on the moon? Well, they also said I couldn't breathe. That's okay though. I can hold my breath super long. We're coming to your place. Yeah, he texted a lot. Technically, I should apologize for being so unresponsive, but all I can feel is incredulity. 33 messages. Yahiko only shrugs. You weren't responding. What's a thoughtful, selfless person to do? Not invade my house without warning, probably. I gave you plenty of warning. It doesn't count if I don't see it. You're blind? Classic Yahiko. Might as well have some fun. What, you didn't know? You mean all this time you've been running blind? Well, not exactly. I have antennae growing out of my feet so I can tell where I'm going. Whoa, is your mom a spider or something? Spiders don't even have antennae growing out of their feet. She has a mutant gene. So your whole family's like that, you aliens? They really need to work on their gullibility. No, I had a sister. Had? She flew away. So she has a bird gene? This conversation is rapidly staring into the deep end. I decide to change topic. Are you guys gonna come in, or are you just gonna stand there? We're coming in. You can't eat chicken alone. That should have sounded cheesy, but I can't stop myself from grinning as they march into the house, slip off their shoes, and throw themselves on the sofa. Masato pulls several large containers out of the GFC bags and uncaps them. The heavenly aroma of fried chicken drifts through my apartment. Now I want fried chicken. Let's see, we got ourselves classic drumsticks, some spicy wings, and potatoes and corn for sides. He raises an eyebrow at me. I fervently shake my head. No more contest. I reach further into the bag and threateningly shake a packet of hot sauce. Surprisingly, Masato's face pales. Oh. Okay. He begins to gingerly bite into his chicken as if it will explode at any moment. Yahiko reaches for the original drumstick, looking strangely thoughtful. It feels unsettling. A quiet Yahiko is a dangerous Yahiko. So, career day. Yahiko's eyes turn to me and he smiles easily. Masato looks up from his chicken. Did you get info on modeling? I don't make it a habit to get details on Yahiko's activities, but I shouldn't be poor company either. Or they might leave. Surprisingly, Yahiko only stares blankly at me. Modeling? Is he really dumb enough to forget his own dream? Apparently. Modeling. Oh, that modeling. Oh yeah, I went and talked with that company, the cloud one. What was it called? You mean Lotus? Yeah, Lotus. Lotus is a type of flower, not a type of cloud. They said they'd keep in contact. They did? Well, of course, as if anyone could reject this perfect body. I want to gag, but honestly it's not like Yahiko's overweight, nor is he deathly skinny. He actually takes pretty good care of himself. He might actually be an honest to goodness model. I repress a shudder and quickly switch to Masato. What'd you do? Masato sits up a bit straighter, his eyes blazing with passion. Looked into studying in America. Wait, you what? What? They had a booth for it. Princeton, Yale, Harvard, all the big ones. An Ivy League? Not only does Masato want to study in America, he wants to attend an Ivy League. Well, honestly, I suppose it's not that unattainable. Despite all outer appearances, Masato actually has the highest grades in our year, save for Elizabeth. Nice. He studies like crazy, runs like crazy, and also disciplined in his health regimen, besides his diet. He just does everything with gusto. In fact, sometimes I wonder why we're still friends. Usually people who try overly hard annoy me, like Elizabeth. But Masato, maybe it's because he's clueless 99% of the time, but I can't find it in me to be annoyed at him. So, an Ivy League? Ain't that right? I'm gonna smoke everyone else. I thought you were going for the Olympics or something. Hell nah, ain't my thing. I like the way he talks. It does make me curious, why would he be so passionate about track if he wasn't planning on pursuing it as a career? I guess I'll definitely help him get into an Ivy League. How are you gonna help him? Huh? Yahiko is peering into the GFC buckets, which are suddenly empty. It's all gone. Except one. Slowly, dramatically, he reaches into the bucket and raises a single chicken leg into the air. Oh, thanks, man. He sticks out his hand expectantly, but Masato only shakes his head, a dangerous gleam in his eye. You gotta fight to win it in life, man. He reverently hoists the chicken leg upward like a certain baboon did to a certain lion cub in a certain copyrighted movie. Nice. Wow. We gotta play a game for it. How about a little something from my childhood? Yahiko's face twitches in trepidation. I don't know, dude. You pansying out on me? Of course not. Good, here's how it's gonna work. The game is called Survivor's Arena. The rules, there ain't none, except don't kill no one unless you wanna go to jail. At times like these, I really have to wonder just what was Masato's childhood like. The goal is this here piece of chicken. We gotta fight fair, so we're gonna stand equal distant from the chicken. It's still strange to hear him say things like equal distant even if he is technically a model student. Me here, you there, Yalma there. Wait, what? Whoa, 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 leave me out of this. I'm fine without the chicken. And it ain't about no destination, man. It's about the journey. That actually kind of makes sense. Regardless, I'm not so crazy about fried chicken that I'll fight over it. It's like the Hunger Games. I'll pass. You ditching me? Yeah, ain't no competition without a proper enemy. You have Yahiko. I can't race against Masato alone. And he ain't been my arch rival for 8 reincarnations. 8 what? Do we even want to know? I let out an exaggerated sigh and pulled myself up. Fine, why not? Awesome, you ready? Masato tenderly places a chicken leg inside the bucket. His actions seem more appropriate for placing an innocent child in its crib, and not the meat of an animal we're about to fight over like starving cavemen. He then measures the proper distance so that he is also equidistant from the chicken. Masato is nothing if not fair about his contests. Once all these procedures are properly taken care of, he bends his knee and leans close to the ground, as if the chicken leg has transformed into a golden trophy. 3, 2, 1. I can't even count. Start. The room explodes in action as he soars towards the chicken, hand outstretched. Yahiko shoves him aside. They tumble to the ground, rolling over and over like a pair of tumbleweeds. Your neighbors aren't going to be happy. Well, that was easy. I reach towards the chicken, but Masato yanks at my ankle. Get back here. I crash towards the ground, barely catching myself before my chin slams against the tiled floor. Couldn't we have played a different childhood game, like hopscotch? Ha! Hopscotch for babies! Taking advantage of Masato's distraction, Yahiko squirms out of his grasp and claws his way to the chicken. Before I realize what I'm doing, my hand shoots out and I've gripped him around his waist. Masato sees his opportunity and releases me. Dashing towards the chicken. In uncanny synchronization, Yahiko and I leap to our feet and tackle him to the ground. His hands lurch forward to catch himself, but our combined weight is too much. His face crashes against the tile with a sickening crunch. Uh-oh. That was pretty, upbeat music for just trying to get some chicken. I instantly step off and kick Yahiko in the side. He rolls off Masato. You okay, dude? Masato manages to pull himself up, but a thin trail of blood is trickling from his nose. Ugh. He inches toward me. Yama. He can't be dying. He's Masato. It'd have to take way more than a simple fall on the kitchen floor to get rid of him. But then again, it's a common method of death in books. One high-impact blow to the nose and it's lights out forever. Could it be true? Come closer. Masato squirms across the floor, drips of blood smearing on his shirt. What is it? Ha! Got the chicken. What? He triumphantly raises the offending piece of poultry in the air, waggling it in front of my face. Oldest trick in the book. Bait and switch. Then he clamps a hand to his nose, a queasy look crossing his face. Irk, by none aid the feeling no good. Yahiko silently hands him a fistful of napkins, which Masato gratefully accepts. We should probably get back to the dorm. Oh yeah, Dorb ith food and real nith? He staggers to his feet. Yahiko's hand is gripping his arm to help him balance. Well, he deserves that chicken. What alternate universe is this? Masato, injured, leaning against Yahiko, who seems legitimately concerned. I watch my mouth slightly agape as Yahiko supports the limping Masato out the doorway. Did he twist his ankle too? See you tomorrow, dude. He gives a cheery wave and shuts the door behind him. I'm left cleaning up the mess they left behind. Masato didn't end up taking his prize, so I decided to chew the chicken leg. Oh, he didn't even take the chicken. He was too hurt, and you're eating it. Nothing like fats and carcinogens to get me through the night. When the leg is all but gnawed through, I toss it in the bucket and kick my feet on the edge of the sofa, closing my eyes. The apartment falls into a peaceful silence. I enjoy it, really I do. The empty space, the room for my thoughts, the gentle way of my own presence, and nothing more. I'd be lying if I said that I didn't appreciate their company. Masato might constantly be dragging me into competitions, and Yahiko might constantly be telling me things I couldn't care less about. But they're good guys. They spice life up. Oh, hello. Make it fun. Turn it from a B chick flick to an A-rated film. More than anything, they're constant. I've technically only known them for 1 or 2 years, but it's felt much longer than that. They've always been around to chill out, study, liven it up, anything really. Even Masato with his terrifyingly crazy schedule. They're good people, even if a little odd. Okay, now I really have to get something done. Something at least minorly productive. Okay. I just want to do Governmercher because I think it's funny. Why not? It's not like there's anything better to do. I don't think studying is really going to make a huge difference in the game. I switch on my computer, settle back, and watch the chaos unfold on my screen. President Jay Graves is striking a dramatic pose on the lip of something that resembles a poorly green-screened Grand Canyon. The wind bellowing at his back as the sun sets over the horizon. As I'm double checking the player to make sure that I haven't somehow skipped to the end of the video, a rambunctious crash painfully rockets through my eardrums. Who goes there? I turn my attention back to the screen. A form scrambles from a pile of steaming metal with a shoddy paint job reminiscent of a bad cosplay. The form is specifically a masked teen in a sequined suit with an antenna headband clamped over his aluminum foil helmet. Is he supposed to be an alien? And is that a spaceship? I am Captain Acosta. I come to claim the, how you say, recursos naturales of this land. Recursos naturales? I'm saying that wrong. Are you Hispanic? Oh, I'm not going to say that. I'm going to wreck it. I'm an alien from outer space. You're an alien, alright, but you sure aren't from outer space. You pay for this evil, senor. You'll be the one who's paying, and it'll be Karma taxes, Governmercher mobilized. To punctuate this remarkable demonstration of diplomacy, he immediately bounds inside his mech, as detonated by a very awkward transition sequence, and starts opening fire on Captain Acosta. Evil senor should not have fought Captain Acosta. Captain Acosta slips into his ship, which magically rebuilds into something resembling a flying clay sombrero, and sails into the air. Wow. Feliz Navidad. I'm not sure how to say that. I don't want to wreck it. Have exploding tacos. It's gift from... Oh, is gift from taco... Oh my gosh. Is gift from Captain Acosta. Can't even read. Out of nowhere, a taco plummets from the sky through a low-resolution photo of the Grand Canyon and lands in front of the president. Tacos are good. This harmless little... The screen flare is white, slightly delayed after the roaring sound of an explosion. When the scene returns, the president is planted on the ground, his neck a pile of steaming rubble. Hasuico, amigo? Never cross a Mexican and his tacos. Then rather abruptly, the entire world turns into Rico bricks. What the? But you see, I am a master builder. His Rego figurine alter ego starts to spaz around the rubble like a caffeinated rodent, building his mech into a... what is that? Caramba? Diablo? What the heck? It looks like some hideous cross between a giant hamburger and a hot dog. Welcome to... Wow. Hey, Crema? How are you supposed to say that? I know it's supposed to be like America, but land of the obese and home of the diabetics. Wow. A giant soda-shaped projectile. Well, at least this game insults lots of people. It's not singling anyone out. A giant soda-shaped projectile shoots from the top of his new fast food mech and slams right into Captain Acosta's clay UFO. Evil Senor's high cholesterol is muy strong. He attempts to lob another exploding taco towards the president, but it's intercepted with another soda projectile and detonates right in front of his face. This was worth it. Curse your fast food chains. His vehicle spirals downward until it crashes with a note of finality into the dust below. The president, still in regal form, leaps out of his mech, striking a dramatic pose in front of the still setting sun. Good night, Akirma, whatever you pronounce it. May you sleep in peace. To be continued. Nice. As the credits roll, I slump back in my chair, stupefied. Right, I don't know what else I was expecting from this kind of show, to be honest. I give the clock a quick check. It's only 8:45, but I don't feel like studying. Guess I might as well sleep early. That's pretty early. Good night, world. It'll be time for another long day. Wow. No, I thought he was gonna have crazy dreams. When I wake up, I'm almost dizzy with grogginess. Guess that happens if you suddenly change your sleep schedule. I drag myself out of bed for a quick shower before idly sitting on the couch. 5:41 a.m. What do people even do this early in the morning? Play games. I guess there are those people who make their beds, work out, and eat a healthy breakfast like ideal, productive human beings. But nah, I'm more partial to laying around and maybe watching some TV. Yeah, that sounds nice. I lazily reach over, my fingertips barely skim over the button on the remote. Ugh. I roll closer and after some trial and error, manage to switch the TV on. In a frenzy after the sudden disappearance of 2 students just 2 days apart, in Samu Imperial Boarding Academy, known for its background and powerful connections, will establish corporation like Lemniscate and Way Forward is now under the nation's eye as it struggles to cope with these new accusations. I freeze on the couch as footage of the all too familiar campus dances on the screen. Disappearances at the academy? Since when did this happen? Civilians, if you happen to see these missing persons, notify the authorities immediately. It is our duty to keep this city safe. Here are their photographs. Midori Mino left and Toma Hayashi right. I snatch the remote, jamming at the power button until the TV finally blanks. Media and their sensationalist headlines. Shameful, stupid. I can't believe anything they say. But why are my fingers still shaking? I clasp my hands against my chest, squeezing my eyes shut. Disappearances at the academy. Probably just some spoiled kids who decided to run off and elope with their significant other of 3 weeks. That's oddly specific. The news always exaggerates everything anyway. I fall back against the couch, suddenly feeling extremely lazy. Yama? Hello? Are you alive? Ruhi's a big girl. She can open the door herself. That's pretty rude. I'm gonna call the morgue. You know what happens in morgues? Nothing. Because they're full of dead people. You'd get bored really quickly. Oh, and you'd probably die from suffocation. Darn it, Rui. There's something called a keypad. Activating foghorn in 3, 2, 1. I groan in the general direction of my door. Sorry, I don't speak idiot. What was that? Meh. You know, if this was the zombie apocalypse, you'd be long dead. You're scarier than a zombie, actually. If I'm scarier than a zombie, what does that make you? Ha, typical Rui. Use the keypad, woman. It's there for a reason. But why do that when I can make you suffer? Once a true friend, let me guess, you forgot? Please, your code's the stupidest possible code to exist on the planet. Even Mr. Ryuta pointed out how stupid it was. It's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Is not. Is 2, Mr. 1, 4, 7, 8, 9. Oh, not quite as bad, but pretty much. Ugh. Come on, lazy bum, just get it to bed. I finally amble to the door and pull it open, pretending to grumble all the while. Truthfully, I'm enjoying our little sparring match. Morning, Sleepy. What? That was an odd reaction. Nothing. Her averted gaze and flushed cheeks prompt me to run a quick check. Nothing on my face. I'm in my pajamas, I guess, but they're decent, and Rui has seen me in them before. I absently run a finger over my lips, trying to feel if if there's anything in my teeth. Nope. Don't do that. Don't do what? Don't take so long. Duh. We have to go to school, you know. I checked my phone. 7:22 a.m. I know how to read a clock. I'm not stupid. I wait for the inevitable, unlike you. It never comes. Just get ready, okay? We need to make a stop on the way. What kind of stop? Sure ask a lot of questions. Why do you always have to ask so many questions? Jeez. Yep. She reaches for my wrist but suddenly jerks back as if I'm covered with poison. Let's go. I raise an eyebrow, smirking at her dramatic fluster. In my pajamas? Get dressed right now. Sir, yes sir. I stride easily toward my room, leaving her fuming. It takes only a few seconds to throw on my uniform. I had barely stepped in the room before I'm in again. It's pretty fast changing. When I return to Rui, I notice that she's regained her composure. I have to admit that it's fairly impressive that she can master herself in such a short amount of time. Hey, took you long enough. You say that like you're waiting forever. I lean closer, raising an eyebrow. Or, did you want to? Shut up. I playfully poke her forehead in an attempt to put her at ease. I really need to learn to keep my mouth shut. Nothing good will come from me saying things like that. It's just, why does she have to look so cute when she's angry? Let's go. She marches out the door without a backward glance. Main character, you like her. Deal with it. Rui refuses to speak to me even as we exit the apartment complex and head into the street. It takes me a moment to realize that we're on a complete detour. Instead of leading me to the academy, Rui stops by the main street. The city is fairly quiet at this time of day, excluding the handful of cars that roar down the road in hectic commute. It's completely silent. Almost eerily so. Silent Hill. Hey, it's okay, no buses. Buses? She fixes me with a searching look for a second. Then out of nowhere, her eyes spring wide open. They're after us. Agent Ishimoto, Ren. Oh, she bolts down the street without warning. I've never seen her run so fast in her life. It spurs me to sprint after her, even though there's no visible threat, at least not from what I can tell. What on earth has possessed this crazy girl? Rui's speed picks up until we're precariously weaving around benches, street lamps, and other miscellaneous items. I can easily keep up, being in track and all, but Rui's clearly inexperienced. If she stays at this pace, she'll probably end up hurting herself. I find Rui sprawled on the ground, gingerly nursing her ankle. Ugh. You okay? What, are you blind? You're the one who tripped. Why are you calling me blind? I'm the one who asks, are you okay, to someone who's clearly in pain. No, I'm not the one. She attempts to struggle to her feet, but crumbles to the ground with a pained cry. I instinctively catch her arm. It's unexpectedly slender. I assume that she would have developed some muscle from how often she likes to hit me. Whatever gave you the brilliant idea to tear down the streets like a mad woman anyway? Shut up and help me before we're late for school. If you were really worried about that, we wouldn't have come here in the first place. Come on already, idiot. Girls, I'll never understand them, ever. Regardless, I kneel down, pull Rui's arm around my shoulder, and slowly start to stand. It would have worked well, but our height difference is too substantial. She's clearly uncomfortable with her arm hitched above her head. Yeah, that doesn't sound helpful. This isn't working. Brilliant deduction, Sherlock. Just carry her. It is for a brain as tiny as yours. You know, maybe I should just leave you here. You wouldn't. I sigh, lowering her back to the ground. She's right, I wouldn't. So somehow I have to get her to school. Carrying her, maybe? Since she's wearing a skirt, a piggyback ride might be too difficult. I could try the tried and true potato sack style, but there wouldn't really be any way of putting her down without injuring her ankle. The only viable option is carrying her bridal style, which comes with problems of its own. A lot of them. Sending wrong messages, being close to Rui, confusing not only her but also myself. Everything I've sworn not to do. 7:50. Not my fault you're so clumsy. Just hurry up. Well, it doesn't look like there's any way out of it. I'll just have to get over it. I stoop down, slipping one arm beneath her knees and the other around her back. Rui's breath catches slightly and she instinctively wraps her arms around my neck. I lean her slight weight against my chest and lift her into the air. She grips me a little tighter, pulling our faces precariously close. The gentle wash of her breath on my cheek startles me forward. Since when were you so heavy? That's mean to say to a girl. Since when were you so weak? I duck for a second, pretending to drop her. She squeaks, clutching onto me for dear life. I'm sorry, what was that? You're strong, you're plenty strong. Don't drop me. I can't help but chuckle at that. She idyllically leans her head against my chest, her face open in curiosity. Feels comfortable. Too comfortable. What are you doing? She closes her eyes, and for a split second, I'm terrified that she'll say something terribly sappy. I was trying to find your heartbeat. It looks like you don't have one. Classic Rui. Are you sure you're looking in the right place? What? Remember who flunked human anatomy? I didn't flunk. I just had other strength. Like sleeping. You were the one who always got in trouble for napping. Heh, she's so adorable when she's angry. She suddenly tugs on my sleeve, glancing around. What is it? We should go around. Why? We're almost there. Because my sixth sense is tingling. You don't have the sixth sense. You don't even have 5. I only smirk at this retort and continue towards the school entrance, but Rui tugs at my ear. Ow, really? Take me around. Why don't I just dump you here? I like that idea much more. You can't dump a lady on the ground. Great, I'll have no issues dumping you. Hey! She wallops me in the chest and I stumble forward, coughing. My back, woman, are you trying to kill me? Oh, grow up, you big baby. She pats my chest, which feels even weirder. I'll dump you. What? I'll do it. Fine, I'll behave. I obligingly take her around the path outside of the gate. Nice place. So, what exactly is this detour for? Enjoying the fresh air before we head to school? And we had to go all the way to the main street to do that? Sometimes you gotta do things just because you can, Yama. Easy for you to say when you're getting carried. Rui suddenly yanks on my collar, staring over my shoulder. Wait, is that... I choke her... Oh, I choke at her tight hold. Thankfully, she promptly releases me. Sorry. You really are trying to kill me, aren't you? No, I just... She points wordlessly at the school entrance. Lo and behold, it's none other than Misaki Kazuhaya, standing at the gate, scrolling casually through her phone. She seems completely oblivious to the throngs of students peering at her in a mix of admiration, jealousy, and contempt. Hooray, welcome to Snooty Schools. I'll just get to class. Wait, Rui, I'm Misaki in the same area. Oh, perfect, time to bring this needless drama to an end. Let's go say hi. Let's not. Well, while I'm carrying you, you go where I go. Then I guess I'm getting off. She disentangles herself and steps away, her weight evenly distributed on her feet. Are you being serious right now? Yeah, I am. I mean what I said yesterday, Yama. How's she supposed to know what to fix if you don't tell her? Because right now she doesn't even think that anything's wrong. The first step is getting her to realize that. I don't really understand. Yeah, I kind of figured. It's okay, don't worry too much about it. I'm off to class now, okay? See you later. Rui? Oh, well look. Looks like someone got off her phone. This should be interesting. It should. It is you. How long has it been? You saw me yesterday, didn't you? You should have said hello. I'm not saying anything. I was speaking with Yami yesterday about Patter. I was wondering if you'd like to create an account so we can keep. But Ruri, after simply staring at her in silence, breezes away without a word. Still leaving. Oh, she leaves Mizaki still grinning, holding up her phone with a half-formed sentence spilling out of her mouth. In touch? Rui? But Rui doesn't stop. She keeps marching right through the doors of the classroom building. Mizaki blinks for a moment, as if the gears in her brain have suddenly ground to a halt. Morning. Yes, good morning. Is everything alright? She's not sick, is she? No. Why did she act that way? Girl drama. I did not sign up for this. Now, the two people who should be my best friends are ignoring each other, or at least one is ignoring the other. Beats me. She seems unhappy with you. You should talk to her. Unhappy with me? Why? Like I said, beats me. I see. 1 second, I'll run a quick search. Her thumbs blur over her phone in a whirlwind. I can practically see smoke trailing from the machine. Alright, two girls, once very close, now ignoring or fighting with each other. Oh. I should have expected this. What is it? She's scared, Yama. Scared that I've come to steal you away from her and claim you as my own. Wait, what? How could I be so blind? Of course this might happen. She's jealous because I might endanger your friendship or even attempt to seduce you. I must leave her alone. I think you should stop turning to the internet for everything, Miki. But she's already in her own little world. Ridiculous, as if I'm actually in love with you. I'll clear this up with her as soon as possible. Gee, thanks for shattering my manly ego, Misaki. Maybe if they actually can get a decent conversation together, the sacrifice will be worth it. I can only sigh as I follow a mumbling Misaki to class. I go on a long trek through the city with a 115-pound weight on my back, and this is what I get for it. Heh, maybe I should have just made Rui walk on her own. She certainly seemed fine by the time we ran into Miki. Wait a minute. She certainly seemed fine. Rui walked to her classroom without a problem. Didn't she just sprain her ankle badly? So badly that she needed to be carried? Actually, when I take a step back, everything's just downright fishy. A seemingly random detour to the main street, a seemingly random make-believe running sequence, a seemingly unavoidable bridal-style ride. All the pieces fall into place. Looks like I'll need to visit a certain blonde-haired troublemaker during lunch break. A certain Akira Kerubu? Classes get off to a dreary start. Yahiko naps through math. I almost follow suit. The teacher's voice is hypnotic and not in a good way. How can you sleep during class? Elizabeth glares at me through English, probably because the teacher had me recite some Edgar Allan Poe, and I found it so stupid that I didn't even try to get the accent right. Sorry, Your Highness, and we're not all bilingual like your perfect self. Then it's world history. Our teacher arrives in camouflage getup, proudly waving in Samu's city flag and screaming at the top of his lungs. Okay, maggots, listen up. You think school's easy? You think this'll be a cakewalk? Well, you're right, because this blasted place has gone soft. Back in my day, we didn't have no study guides. Textbooks, we had to rate them ourselves, upside down, uphill, in the snow both ways. While my peers seem petrified, I only smile amusedly. If only a class were like this, or if only all classes were like this. None of you have any excuse to get less than 90 on your test. So help me if I see a single 80, I'll give you a taste of the old days. Yahiko is sliding beneath his desk as if he wants to melt into the chair. The old days? The teacher eyes the flare with delight. as if he was waiting to be asked. That's right, them old days. They'd string us up by our ankles over a pit of hungry lions. Yahiko squeaks and buries himself under his desk. Do lions even exist in Japan? Alright, my kids, let's get this party started. The teacher thrust a heavy finger at the board, sending the test to each of our desks. You've got till 11:25, sissies, then it's judgment day. With that, he flops on his chair, propped his feet on the tabletop, and stuffs his face into a ragged newspaper. I give the test once over. I should have studied more, but maybe I can bluff the right answers. I didn't know there was going to be like an actual test. Oh, what was Europe's rapid colonization of Africa after 1880 driven by? I don't even know. Sure, let's say that. What does the ancient yin-yang Chinese symbol represent? Theory that man is opposite. The Zen concept of unity is an artistic... Oh. Everything is opposite but common. I think it's that one? Please don't judge me if I do terrible. Write the correct chronological order of at least 3 current world religions. Buddhism, Christianity, Islam, Christianity, Buddhism. I want to say Buddhism was first, but I don't think it was Christianity, then Islam, I think. I'm just gonna go with this one. Because I thought Buddhism... I'm probably getting them wrong, but oh well. What was the intention of China's Great Leap Forward? Expand China's influence in the Third World, industrialize China's economy, expel Japanese occupation from Korea. I don't know, I'll say that one. What European practice did colonial Spanish Americas... I don't even know. I could technically like Google these, but I don't feel like it. I don't even know. I'm just gonna say that one. That went better than expected. I glance around the classroom, gauging the reactions of my peers. They range from triumph to utter despair. Surprisingly, Yahiko is the fastest writer of them all, trumping even Elizabeth. Out of curiosity, I steal a peek at his test. Name. Calling people names is rude. Date. I'm not dating anyone right now. There's several ways the Russians were prepared for the Cold War. They wore really big coats and took medicine every 6 hours. Describe how Hitler gained influence in Germany. They produced a lot of chocolate until they were the biggest candy factory in Asia. What the? Is he for real? What major events incited the Japanese capitulation during World War II? The nuclear bomb. Oh, he almost got this one right. Yahiko. Time for sign language. Your answer on answer question 3 is wrong. He grins and shoots me a thumbs up. What major event incited the Japanese capitulation during World War II? The Reiko movie premiere. Oh. He raises his eyebrows at me. How's this? I nod encouragingly. Now all his answers will look dumb. That's more consistent. That's rude. I return to my exam. The last question that remains is a long essay. Elaborate on one of the following historical themes with at least 3 specific examples from covered material. Subjugation of humanity, economic inequality, wealth disparity, role of religion in society. Well, this will be easy. I select the first option and start rambling about how everyone sucks and it's unbelievably power hungry. It's the easiest essay I've ever written. I finish with plenty of time to spare. After I hand in my test, I take a moment to evaluate my surroundings. Oh yeah, Hiko's reached the essay. Perfect. He selected the second option, the economic gap between wealthy and poor. Let's take a look. I believe that the solution to all the conflicts and stuff between rich people and poor people is that they should try to understand each other. Like, rich people need to realize the hardships of the poor and try to do something about it. And the poor need to understand that not all rich people are the same. That's all he pens before he turns in his test. He completely missed the point of the question. That was an unusually sober answer considering he's, well, Yahiko. Yeah, that wasn't that bad, but you know, it needs to be longer and more relevant stuff in there. Rid of my entertainment, I stare into space and think about nothing as classes continue on. When the lunch bell rings, everything seems to happen at once. Mizaki leaps to her feet, snatches up her backpack, and storms to the classroom door. I hurriedly tap on her shoulder. Where are you off to? To track down Rui, of course. You sound like you're stalking prey. Who says I'm not? And obviously, with no intention of slowing down, she barrels out of the room with a single purpose. As she does so, a group of girls race into the room, crowding around Elizabeth. Is this you, Elizabeth? You won the art contest? Gosh, is there anything you aren't good at? Such an amazing painting. You're so cool. Elizabeth smiles at her groupies, unusually gentle. Thank you. She coughs delicately. Sorry, my throat is feeling a bit dry. Oh, stay right there. I'll get some tea for you. Hurry up, don't keep her waiting. Elizabeth smiles in appreciation as the groupie sprints out of the classroom. The whole display just makes me want to gag. Then Masato comes roaring in. I cringe, expecting yet another sales pitch for the track team. But he crashes past me, grabbing one of my hapless classmates. You. Who, me? You started a bitter family feud, you ignorant whelp. What? I've never seen you in my life. You mess with my little bro, you mess with me. Come here. Masato seizes the student's ear and drags him into the hallway, leaving a trail of gossiping students in his wake. Huh? Weird. I never knew Masato had a little brother. See you, dude. What? Where are you going? To see applicants for my amazing club, of course. You interested in joining it? It's called the Happy Club. Suddenly I'm very glad that I have other plans. Have fun with that. He only beams. I will. And with that, he promptly disappears. He was getting ditched by everyone. That was oddly hectic for an ordinary school day. Well, at least it's convenient. Now I'm left to my own devices. So you can murder someone? Alright, Akira, it's time to have a few words with you. I enter the cafeteria with laser focus, searching for the familiar head of blonde hair. I vaguely notice Yahiko gesturing exaggeratedly to a few skeptical students, but I pass over them. After a few minutes of circling the cafeteria, I still haven't caught sight of my intended target. Superoni Sarge? Oh. I quickly rip around and come face to face with the object of my search. A bright-eyed girl bubbling with energy, as demonstrated by her tendency to bounce on the balls of her feet. Hey, Akira. It's been a while, Sarge. I can't help but sigh. I sense that the ensuing conversation will be a very long and difficult one. My name isn't Sarge. I never said it was. Then why do you keep calling me Sarge? Because Sarge is short for sergeant. She stops as if that's an adequate explanation. And I'm hungry, so let's get some food. She skips to the buffet table to swipe her card. This girl, it's impossible to get a straight answer out of her. Akira is an interesting case. She and Rui joined the drama club last year. That's how they became friends, or so they claim. It didn't take long for them to become close, and this year they're rooming together. Akira, well, if I had to describe her, I'd say she's free-spirited, doing her own thing, off in her own world. She doesn't really associate with us much, just Rui. She's a bit eccentric though, I suppose in a refreshing way. I suppose. When we've gotten our food, Akira makes her way to an obscure corner of the cafeteria and digs through her bag, pulling out a green and white plaid blanket with a flourish. I present to you Annette Tiana Hellenson, XVII. I crane my neck, trying to peek into her bag. Where? Here. She shakes the blanket. The blanket? Oh, don't be rude. How would you feel if Annette Diana Hellenson XVII called you the human all the time? Use her name. I'm not going through all that effort just to spare the feelings of an inanimate object. She frowns at me, but gently lays the blanket on the floor. Don't come crying if Annette, please, I'm not saying that name, extracts retribution on you for the grave insult you just made. I'm sure I'll live. Akira only shrugs and settles on the blanket. A few students in the background send us bewildered glances. Why don't we just sit at a table? Why don't we just sit on the ground? Chairs are meant to be sat on. So's the ground. What? Fine, you sit on the ground, I'll sit at the table. Akira sighs and obligingly stuffs Annette, whatever, back into her bag. You know, Rui and I are like peas in a pod. You're like this awkward leaf that's growing really far down the stem. I see you all the time, but we never actually hang out. That's not really fair. You choose not to hang out with us. On second thought, I'm not sure if I'd be able to handle Akira on a daily basis. Aw, Sarge, I never said it was your fault. Right. I gather myself as Akira takes a seat beside me and starts to dig in. The ankle incident. Just ask her about the ankle incident and this whole nightmare will be over. Something interesting happened today. Did you pretend that you were a cross-dressing duchess? What? Guess not. Too bad. That would have definitely been interesting. Most brains have interconnected neurons, but I'm beginning to think that Akira's brain is structured without rhyme or reason. No, Rui tripped and injured her ankle. Oh no! Well, I don't think she actually injured it. She was running around on it just a few minutes later. Did you carry her? Yeah. Piggyback? Why does that matter? Oh, the healing power of true love. How I envy your bond. You see, love is like antidepressants with herbal infusions. Most of the time, people just get involved so that they feel good regardless of the actual result. But sometimes, if your bond is truly deep, it can actually physically heal you. Only sometimes though, like maybe less than 0.0016%. I carried her bridal style actually. Bridal style? 10 times the healing power. 10 times the bond. Like a covalent blood. Or bond. How do I either say blood? Or ionic, depending on the properties. Her way of thinking is impressive. Honestly, I don't even know how she makes these associations. Look, Akira. Can you just give me a straight answer? The angle of an answer is irrelevant, since an answer is just an abstract concept and therefore is not subject to angles in the first place. Right. Did you have anything to do with Rui pretending to injure her ankle? I plead the fifth. Isn't that American? Oh right. I plead the 38th. I can only sigh at this. Kira definitely had something to do with it. If past examples are anything to go by, she probably formed an elaborate plan and managed to convince Rui to go along with it. Look, I know Rui's your friend, but stop trying to matchmake us. Honestly, it's getting a little annoying. Just like how you pretend that you don't notice Rui's feelings. Take back everything I said about Akira being refreshing. She isn't refreshing at all, she's a meddler. Look, it isn't exactly your business, can you just stay out of it? Oh, but it is my business, more than you might think. That sounds ominous. Still, it'll end up hurting Rui. Do you want that? Why would Rui get hurt? Just let me deal with it, okay? It's already complicated enough. Doesn't have to be. This is just too much trouble. Look, Akira, what you're doing will only end up hurting Rui. If you just want to bug me, that's fine, but leave Rui out of it. Scoop up my dishes and leave the table before she has a chance to speak. Maybe it's rude, but I'm not encouraging any delusional fantasies regarding Rui and me. I head back to the classroom, spending the rest of lunch period half-heartedly studying. Afternoon classes pass by uneventfully. Elizabeth seems to be in a good mood from the praises of her groupies. She completely ignores me instead of hassling me. Let me take a drink for a sec. And my hot chocolate. Well, now it's cold, but... Yahiko is unusually quiet. Even Misaki is all but silent. From her clouded expression, I'd guess that her discussion with Rui didn't go, too well. When the bell rings, I'm almost unsettled at how quiet the day was. The lull of the afternoon seems to settle in every crevice of the classroom, bringing a haze of sleep with it. The teacher's voice slips into an indiscernible drone as every student struggles to keep their eyes open for the few remaining minutes of school. Understood? Alright, homeroom dismissed. We gonna get through another school day? This game goes through different days or something. I think there's 10. I don't know how many I'm on now. Immediately everyone bolts to their feet, chatting amiably as they make their way out of the classroom. Only the 4th day of school. Oh, we're at 4, and we're already sick of it. I guess that's 3rd year for you. Oh hey. Mizaki, did you see the new episode of Governor Mercher yesterday? I saw it. Why, of course. I turned into the live stream the moment it opened. Oh wow. It's the unexpected BFFs. So, what did you think? Well, when I saw that President Jay Gray spontaneously... Wait, sorry. No spoilers. You know, since Yama might not have seen it yet. Oh, right. How exceedingly generous of him. I thought it was entertaining as always. It was the best episode so far, wasn't it? It definitely was. Well, no offense, but I don't think the bar is set very high. What's this, man? Did you get a real girlfriend? A wild Masato appears. Masato, my man, how is your vengeance? Wait, what? Some punk paid a group of boys to bully Masato's little brother because he hates Masato. But I bet that Masato gave him a taste of his own medicine. Hell yeah, I did. You pick a fight with one Kurogane, you pick a fight with them all. Or with all of them. Wait, won't you get in trouble for hitting him? He'll definitely tattle on you. What, hit him? Nah man, I locked him in a room and taught him the cluster decomposition theorem, made him write a paper on it in one sit-in. Somehow that sounds a lot more horrifying than just getting beat up. Hi, I don't think we met. Who are you? I transferred here yesterday. Misaki Kazehaya, at your service. She's super cool. She watches Governor Mercher, and she's a model. Ha, that's cool. Name's Masato Kurogane. I'm on the track team. He stops there. We wait for a moment, expecting a more elaborate introduction. And what? That's all that matters, ain't it? Not the fact that he's the president of the honors club, or one of the top students in the school, or a 3rd year. I take it you enjoy track then? Hell yeah. Track is like water. Without it, you die. Track is the air. Without it, you die. Track is like fried chicken. Without it, you die. Huh. That's some dedication. Yep, and I'm staying this way, or my name's Yama Ishimoto. That was uncalled for. Well, as long as you keep at it, I'm sure you can accomplish anything. She says every cliche movie ever. They ignore me and firmly shake hands. Looks like she's becoming friends with everyone except Rui, ironically enough. So how do how do ya all know each other. That was awkward for me to say. She, Yama, and Rui are childhood friends actually. Whoa, real? Why ain't Rui here then? An awkward silence falls between Mizaki and I, with the hapless Yahiko in the middle. Huh? Now that you mention it, she should be here by now. You don't think she's got called for cleanup duty, do you? We don't have cleanup duty, Yahiko. The school pays for janitors. Oh, that would explain a lot. How many years have we been at this school again? Hold on, someone give me a straight answer. Where's Rui? Mizaki clears her throat and steels herself. We're not in the best of terms at the moment, but I'm working to resolve the issues as soon as possible. You sound like you're debugging some code, Miki. But it's true, we're not getting along particularly well. Masato inches away from her, suddenly cautious. Huh, I see. See what? You guys were just getting along. Masato turns to Miki with a grave expression. I don't know, man. Something about you seems sus? That's kinda harsh, but at least he told her up front. What? I should have seen it earlier, but yeah, you're too nice. Don't you work in the modeling industry? Ain't you supposed to be cutthroat and all that? I'm not like... Oh, it's not like I'm some kind of dastardly mastermind. Then what's the deal with you and Rui? I'd like to know that myself. She's the one ignoring me. They both stare at each other. They both stare each other down. None of us budge. Oh hell, I don't know. I'm going to track. He strides to the classroom without any farewells or apologies. That was strange. Sorry about that, Mizaki. Masa's not usually like that. Maybe he ate something funny? I doubt it. Well, that just got awkward. First Rui, now Masato's pushing Miki out into the cold. Usually they're the warmest and most inclusive people I know, but this time... Just all quiet. Something, save me, anything. Huh? That was convenient. You could just pretend to look at your phone. Some people do that. Cafe de la Paix, 5 p.m. Do not dare to be late or I shall dock your pay. Also, I insist you share your location with me. I'll go ahead and assume this is from Shikaru. Wait, isn't this a volunteer basis? What kind of pay am I getting? And the final message. Wait a minute. Does your someone support location sharing? The answer is immediate. Yes. But it's so old. Some implements improve with age. Ishiyama, unlike your brain, I predict. Why am I working for this woman again? Whatever, I mashed a few buttons to share my location with her. It's not like she'll break into my house and steal my stuff, right? Since she's a detective in official capacity, she'd get in a lot of trouble. Wait, why am I legitimately entertaining this idea? Arg, this woman terrifies me. Dude, why are you smiling? Huh? Smiling? Grinning, as a matter of fact. Romancing, not grinning. There's a big difference. Sorry, but something came up. Turns out that I have to go. Oh, that's fine. I have my club to see. Oh, you have a club? Yeah, I just started it. Want to join? It's called the Happy Club. Oh, sorry, but my work schedule limits my ability to participate in clubs. Oh well, that makes sense. Wow, smooth. She should go into politics. Who in their right mind would actually want to join a group called the Happy Club? I would. Okay. Then ladies and gentle fellows, I shall be off. See ya. Bye Yahiko, you too Mizaki. Have a good rest of the day, Yama. And with that, we managed to barely salvage the awkward atmosphere as we go our separate ways. I pull up to this Cafe de la Paix, I don't know, Pay, however you say that, on my phone and find that it's on the same street as GFC. Now I want chicken, okay? They keep talking about fried chicken. Hi, Ginger Breed. Well, that makes this an easy walk, unless of course she's referring to the other cafe, which is on the far away border of District 8. Might as well try the closest one first. Shigeru doesn't seem like the type to go out of her way just to make me miserable. Or rather, she doesn't seem like the type to inconvenience herself. There are cliques of academy students. Pretty good, how are you doing? I'm just hoping, I'm enjoying this game, but I want to get to the more horror-y aspects of it. I think I'm getting there. Of academy students throughout the streets, girls immersed in superficial gossip and guys exchanging ridiculous dares. I pass by a handful of police officers on the way. They nod courteously, but there's a shadow to their evaluating gazes. I keep my stride long and my steps quick as I round the corner to the denoted rendezvous point. When I first see the place, I have to double check my phone to make sure I didn't take a wrong turn somewhere. By the quaint, lovely name, I was expecting some charming variation of the polished, established Buckstar coffee house. Instead, I'm met with the definition of modest, chip paint, dusty windows, and a swaying sign with 3 broken letters. Maybe this is Shigeru's way of extracting vengeance. I take a deep breath before I enter the cafe. Oh, it looks nice inside. Surprisingly, the place is really decent on the inside. Sophisticated and sleek, the array of elegant furniture is punctuated by the black grand piano along the far wall of the cafe. A delectable smell of butter and sugar drifts from the counter of the shop, where several intricate glass displays boast rows of unique pastries reminiscent of a fairy tale world. Welcome, may I take your order? The cashier greets me with a smile, drawing me to the front counter. Wait a minute, isn't she? Come to think of it, I've never seen where she goes after class ends. Of all people, it would be you. Consider it your lucky day. Just give me your order. Heh, this situation is just too good to pass up. Elizabeth, cashier. Oh, well, thanks for stopping by. Do enlighten me. Why would such a wealthy, empowered young woman stoop to making lattes and washing dishes? Hey, that's really rude. Work experience, obviously. Every successful person comes from humble beginnings. I might believe her, but the way she's averting her eyes is suspicious. So why didn't your parents just get you some cushy internship at your dream corporation? You know, some people want to earn their success instead of being spoon-fed by their parents. But being spoon-fed is so much easier. I've learned by now that comments like these will tick off Elizabeth more than actual insults. Sure enough, it works. You're insufferable. What's that? I should complain to customer service about an abusive cashier? Just order already. As I lazily glance over the pastry display, a flicker of motion catches my eye. It's the girl who always hangs around Elizabeth, an ordinary student settled in the corner, elbow propped on her table, eyes glistening or glinting in amusement as she absentmindedly twirls a pencil between her fingers. Her back is slouched, her smile carefree, but there's something that seems a little odd about her. Elizabeth seems to notice my switch of attention and clears her throat. Are you going to order, or are you going to waste space like always? Oh, give him a moment, Beth. I glance at the book that's lying open-faced on her table, Advanced English, Syntax, and Grammatical Principles, version 3. That's the same text that I have for English. She must also be a 3rd year, but in a different class. Head tilted slightly, eyebrows raised just barely. I get the impression that she's studying me just as hard as I'm studying her. Who are you? Isn't it courteous to introduce yourself before you demand my identity? As your buddy Lizzie has probably told you, courtesy isn't my strong suit. Oh, and what is? Nothing. Just a bit of friendly advice, Beth, but you may want to watch your step around this one. What makes you say that? Why, he's figured you out. This elicits an unusual reaction from Elizabeth. Bitten lips, fiddling hands, and an anxious shift to her eyes. Odd, I don't recall figuring out anything. Well, Yama, why don't you give Beth a little grace? Her eyes are twinkling at me challengingly, like she knows I don't know, but wants me to figure it out. Why would she do that? Why isn't she taking Elizabeth as that? Fine, I'll apologize, just don't tell anyone. Well, now I really have no clue what's going on, but I might as well go along with it. Yeah, why shouldn't I? Oh, she seems at a loss for words. I can't help but grin. You'll pay me? You know I can't. That catches me off guard, but thankfully I'm able to hide my expression just in time. Interesting, she can't pay. That can only mean that she's not as high and mighty as she pretends to be. Maybe her spending is restricted by her parents, or maybe she's legitimately poor. This just gets better and better. That's really mean. Yama. So it's that big of a deal if everyone finds out? Don't even think about it. Yep, definitely not the rich, perfect princess that everyone was led to believe she was. Say pretty please with a cherry on top. Pretty pleased with a cherry on top. As begging goes, it's subpar, but I decide to let it go. I don't plan on making her life miserable. It's more of a power thing. With blackmail hanging over her head, she will finally stop bothering me. I turn from the counter to survey the pastry case. Elizabeth's shoulders drop in relief. The girl at the table loses interest and returns to fiddling with her pencil. You never did tell me your name. Am I obliged to? As you said, it's common courtesy. Now when did I say I was courteous? She brushes her pencil into her bag. What? And slings it over her shoulder, winking at Elizabeth. I'll see you later, Beth. And Yama, play nice. She floats out of the cafe without another word, shutting the door softly behind her. Come to think of it, how did she know my name? She probably learned it from Elizabeth. Said Elizabeth rings up my order of 3 pastries and a smoothie as I spend a few minutes pondering the strange girl. What's her name? Why do you want to know? Is it really that big of a deal? Elizabeth sighs in clear exasperation. Her name is Natsuki Tanaka? Now you can hit on her. Congratulations. I lean over the counter until my face is an inch from hers. What makes you think she's the one that I want to hit on? Elizabeth glances away, instinctively disturbed by my proximity. Right as I'm about to feel a rush of triumph, I catch a slight scent, country lavender with a hint of vanilla. It's oddly magnetic. I'm suddenly bulldozed by a sensory onslaught. I can see the curl of her long lashes, gleam of her eyes, every perfectly tapered point of her hair, the subtle curve of her lips. I stagger backward, fighting against the images in my head. Wow, you pervert? I need to get a hold of myself. This is Elizabeth. She's always been pretty. Why let it mess with me now? In a shaky attempt to cover up my slip-up, I shove a bill forward. Keep the change. Elizabeth elegantly plucks the bill from my hand, and before I can process what's happening, she's wrapped her fingers around my collar, pulling me forward. For a few painful seconds, she stays there, her lips an inch from my jawline. Keep what change? You didn't give me enough in the first place. She releases me and I glance at the bill I've handed her. Only 1,000? Crap, she's right. I feel a blush flare up my cheeks as I slide another bill to her. The corners of her mouth pull up just slightly. Careful, wouldn't want everyone to know that you're actually poor, would you? Yeah. She's genuinely amused as she passes me my order and bustles off to make my smoothie. I hate to admit it, but she doesn't look bad when she smiles. Or, get a grip, Yama. This is Elizabeth, who hounded you all of last year. The Elizabeth who keeps butting into things that aren't her business. The Elizabeth who believes that everything is in her control. That Elizabeth. Back to my senses, I select a buttered croissant and throw the other two pastries in my backpack. There's not much to do, so I follow Elizabeth to the blenders. Apparently she's recovered because her face is set to its default disapproving scowl. What are you doing? Eating a croissant? Stop staring. You know, your workstation has windows for a reason. And that reason is not for you to stare at me like a pervert. What about an admiring fanboy? Blimey, you're insufferable. I can't help but chuckle as a tinge of English leaks through her accent. So, are you actually from England? Why are you asking me all these questions? I'm bored and you're taking a long time to make my smoothie. Maybe when it takes long, if you'd stop distracting me. Maybe you need to learn how to actually focus. She huffily slams the lid down on the blender and starts it up. The roar of the machine blurs the sound between us. Oh, dear me, I would like some tea and crumpets. Elizabeth's shoulders tighten in clear annoyance. Tally-ho, old sport. What say you to some fish and chips? The blender picks up speed until it begins to whine. The weather is positively ghastly today, is it not? Then the blender stops. Elizabeth wordlessly pours the mixture into a cup and caps it, handing it over the window. Firstly, I was born and raised in Japan, just like everyone else. Secondly, just because you're not bilingual doesn't mean you have to mock people who are. She tears a wrapper off the end of the straw and sticks it roughly into the smoothie. Have a nice day. Come again. With that, she strides into the back room, leaving me by myself. I actually feel uneasy as I settle into a corner. I'd expect Elizabeth to lash out at me, just like every other time. But she was calm, honest, even if clearly annoyed. Is her heritage a weak spot? Did I bring up something that should have been left alone? Probably. Furthermore, why am I letting it bother me? She's never showed me mercy, not on the days where I just wanted to be left alone. The days where life almost wasn't worth it. Should I do the same? Or shouldn't I do the same? As I bite down into my croissant, hoping to distract myself with its taste, the door of the cafe swings open. Shikuru storms in, the tiny manifestation of fury, as she clutches her phone against her ear, barking into its mouthpiece. As I previously explicated, the situation now merits further scrutiny. Have you compiled the information or informative analysis of the extraction methods? Your errant incompetence disgusts me. Trust that you shall be receiving a visitation from your supervising officer within the next 24 hours. Good day. She angrily shuts her phone and stuffs it in her pocket, only then do her eyes land on me. Ah, Ishiyama. At last, someone with manageable quantity of incompetence. Nice to see you too, I guess. Show me the receipt of your purchase. Purchase? For your pastries. I almost ask her why, but decide just to shut up and give her the receipt. She promptly marches to the counter, taps her wallet against the card receiver, and marches back with 13,000 yen. It's yen, right? Change. She slides this to my side of the table with an expectant look. You need me to buy coffee for you? This is reimbursement. As your superior, I am treating you for this meeting. Oh, thanks. I'm honestly surprised. She came across as the type of person to make me pay for both of us, actually. Now, regarding tonight's mission. Mission? Indeed, one of my Lucid9 colleagues mislaid a pivotal dossier with the 6th district of Insamu. 6 out of 9 districts, also known as the districts of drugs, gangs, and general mayhem, where little children ought not go. Huh. I think I know where this is headed. Your assignment is to retrieve it tonight. Yeah, saw that coming. One coming. Why would I do this? The better inquiry is, what aberrant consequences shall befall you if you do not? That stalls me for a moment, but I manage to think up a passable reply. Clearly nothing too terrible, since you need me to get it for you instead of going yourself. Funnily enough, instead of lashing out at this remark, Shigeru only seems impressed. Perhaps you'll pass after all. Pass? The dossier's whereabouts are currently being established. I shall contact you with an additional instruction at a later time. I didn't even say I would do this. I doubt that availability is an issue. How does she know? I'm not even going to ask. Not having a schedule conflict doesn't mean that I'll take it. Then consider it your municipal burden. But I never agreed to. Do you not wish to be something? To be something extraordinary, to do something significant with your inconsequential existence? Then it is settled. Stay in touch. She abruptly tilts her cap and storms out of the cafe, leaving me in stunned silence. Return to my apartment feeling an unusual kinship with my on-call military personnel. At this moment, everything is peaceful and quiet, to the point of boredom. Looks so nice outside. But the more I wait, the antsier I get, like a ball of energy is tangled up inside me. I'd almost like to just go and get it over with, but District 6 is huge. There's no way I could find it without at least some general guidelines. I'd be going to the sketchiest area of the city with no backup, no support, no health insurance. Heck, this is probably illegal for Shigeru to do. Whatever. It'll be interesting and helpful apparently. Since I have some free time right now, maybe I should... Oh. I just want to watch the Governor Mercher because I think it's hilarious. So I'm going to do that. Governor Mercher would be a nice break from today's insanity. Turn off the lights and settle back on my couch, fixing my eyes on the laptop screen. President J. Graves is shifting through the paperwork on a cardboard desk. Behind him is a blurry backdrop of... Is that the White House? This background has been blurred due to copyright issues. If I squint, I can read the caption at the bottom right corner stating... He shifts through the paperwork for a good 5 minutes, maybe more. It's not exciting, to say the least. Crash. It just... I'm just about to close the video to boredom when there's a huge crash and his door explodes with a clearly fake explosion, hailing in a group of 5 women, no men. Each of them bears an open blazer in some eye-burning neon color and atrocities for skinny jeans hiked up their hips, and their hair long and silky to their shoulders, or awkward curls in a crown over their head, or messy waves that fall over their eyes until you wonder how they can see straight. President Graves calmly sets aside his stack of paperwork, folds his hands together, and evaluates the unusual group. Can I help you, sirs? The 5 strangers suddenly strike dramatic poses, hands on hips, pointing to nowhere, fake karate stances, even miming a teapot. Wow. One of them steps forward, shaking his head like he's in a shampoo commercial. Words spew from his lips in rhythmic rap. We are the group called K-Ox. If you want to live, then you better flee. No. Not it's supposed to be Cox. K-Ox? I don't know. I'm the leader. Gosh, Nam? Bless you. No, this is my name. Gosh, I'm the leader of K-Ox. Suddenly, the other members leap in front of him. He's coughing. Suddenly, the other members leap in front of him, crouching to the ground in another dramatic pose. The best band in the world. Best band in the world has got. Hit us with your best shot. Dazzling fan service, plastic enhancers, and top-notch dancers. You're a K-pop boy band? Yes, we're a K-pop band, and we demand to tour Akirma to increase our loyal fan base. Clearly not. I'm just gonna say Americans, are free peoples. I will not allow them to be bound to you. The members suddenly jump in synchronization, pounding into the ground in some neo-interpretive dance move. When they stand again, they're singing in jazzy 5-part harmony. Ooh baby, no you didn't? I'm not singing, so nothing can stand in our way. Ooh baby, gotta get with it. We're in for a world of pain. President Graves falls to his knees, clutching his ears in agony. The singing, it's hypnotic. Government, mobilize. The backdrop, which has been wavering precariously for a solid 5 minutes, tips over as the president robot bursts onto the scene, revealing a very ordinary looking backyard. I'm not sure whether to be exasperated or impressed at the fact that none of the actors seem phased. Oh, you poor fool. They'll take more than that simple tool. Go fangirls, choose you. I choose you. He flings out his arms and a huge crowd of preteen girls swarm from off screen, screaming and waving picket signs, surrounding the poor model robot. The robot, now that I get a closer look, it seems like it was built from tin cans, collapsed beneath their weight. No. What you gonna do? What you gonna do? What you gonna do? What? What you gonna do? Oh, come on. What you gonna do, really? The president staggers to his feet, his mouth set necromance. Give me liberty, or give me death. He reaches into his oversized suit and whips out some awkward contraption that looks like the bastard child of an electric guitar and a shotgun. He slams down on the strings, shaking his hair back and forth, which would have been more impressive if it wasn't cropped so close to his skull. The song sounds oddly like America's national anthem. The anthem was hard, metal, that is. Oh, say, can you see my butter truckin' electric guitar? The members of Chaos quickly clamp their hands against their ears and raise their voices until they're screaming in 5-part harmony. Your eyes, nose, lips, you touch that one once could touch us. It's hopeless now. They start throwing little containers of eyeliner at the president, who repels them with a sweep of his guitar. What so proudly we hailed as the Cox is first screaming. Sorry. Will be proven. Wrong. Wrongest baby. President Graves jerks the end of his guitar and a spray of poorly green screen bullets fly towards Chaos. In one fluid motion, Gosh Minam reaches into his pocket, uncaps a small container of hair gel, and wraps his hand around his bangs until his hair turns into a spike. With a swing of his head, the bullets bounce harmlessly off his hair lance. Oh, a new hairstyle. President Graves staggers to his knees as the Chaos members jump in place. No. Is this the power of a viral video? With trembling fingers, he taps the electric guitar. Suddenly, Yahiko, in his trusty blonde wig and pink dress, materialize out of nowhere. Haters gonna hate. I'm just gonna shake. He starts spasming like a lunatic, emitting pulses of energy that fling Chaos into the sky. It looks so realistic that I find myself wondering if it actually happened during filming. No, Chaos blasting off again as they disappear with a convenient twinkle clearly added in post-production. President Graves pats Yahiko on the shoulder. Good job, Tater Mist. Thanks to you, America will sleep in peace. As the ending credits roll, a voice in the background proclaims that any resemblance to persons living or dead is purely coincidental. Yeah, sure. That was awesome. I lounge against the sofa and stare into the ceiling, flipping my phone idly in my hands. I should study or cook or clean or do something productive. It all sounds so painful. I'll just sit here for a moment. Sit here and do nothing. I suck. Yeah. Yama Ishimoto. This is the address. I've appended directions that a toddler could follow. Rest in the knowledge that if you miraculously manage to lose your way, you will possess an intellect inferior to a toddler. Or perhaps that is already the case. Should I just go now? It's not like I have anything better to do. Just go. Do something interesting. And setting up early might give me some crucial information or something. Who knows? I throw on a jacket before I stride out the door, the cold night air cutting into my face. Nice. This part of Insemu is a much less friendly one, especially at this hour of night. When you don't look, shadows that shift, lights that gleam, smiles that shine somewhere in the darkness. When you do, only stillness, as if nothing odd is happening. Shady lights, dubious advertisements, a smattering of very unfriendly folk on every street corner. I probably should have just stayed home. Then I could have studied. Or, well, wasted more time, I guess. Anything is preferable to being murdered in the district with the highest crime rate. Thanks a lot, Shikaru. Why would she sound like a high school student there? That seems kind of weird. Consider it my contribution to the furtherance of society. Gee, you're really comforting. If you're in a quest of comfort, I suggest you procure a plush creature of some kind, child. I'm not sure whether I should be proud or disturbed by the fact that I can perfectly emulate her. Oh, there's a shadow. What the? I catch the light's syncopation of tidy footsteps, and despite every instinct railing against me, follow them around the corner. No one is in this area in Insemu at night. You are. No one except the Yakuza, a crazy murderer, or maybe a different criminal. The question is, why am I willingly tailing someone who could kill me as easily as they could break a toothpick? I really need to reevaluate my life priorities. God. I widely stagger to my feet, ready to meet my attacker with, wait. To say the least, the girl before me is definitely not a threat. She's almost 2 heads shorter than me, small and skinny with large blank eyes fixed on my own. Her pale skin, pointed chin, and unbending posture remind me of a fragile doll. Furthermore, she's an academy student. What would someone like her be doing at this time of night? Sorry. I extend a hand to her. No. Her voice is light, wispy, like that, or like the word was pulled out of her rather than spoken out of her own volition. What? Frail girl, nice. She only silently stares into the distance. Okay. The more I examine her, the more mysterious this girl becomes. She appears dainty, thin frame, lacy hair accessories, full cheeks with big doe eyes and tiny feet. But her voice is monotone, her words are few, her gaze is dead, and she is walking fearlessly around the part of Insemu where no girl should go alone. Are you lost? No. Even her reactions are unusual. For once I have no idea what could possibly be going on in her head. This isn't really a safe area. Yet you're here. 3 words, the most she's spoken thus far. I'm not as weak, frail. She might consider that insulting. Tired, as you. You crashed into me. I didn't. What? You crashed into me. She states this flatly, as if it's the absolute truth and no other alternative is acceptable. Right. Dawns on me that her complete lack of fear in this district of the city should be suspicious. She's tiny. Shouldn't she be terrified? Are you heading back to school? No. Well, I was gonna offer to escort her, but then where are you going? Are you going anywhere? It's like speaking to a brick wall. Do you need any help? She completely ignores my hand as she glides to her feet, idly brushing her skirt. Really? What is going on? I'll take that as a no. She glances around, not secretively, not even worriedly, almost mechanically. Then without a word she walks away, disappearing back around the corner. That was strange, although I'm not sure the word strange can even quantify just how utterly strange that encounter was. Regardless, she's gone, and I've got my own business to see to. Despite this calm line of thought, I'm still shaken as I head to the location Shigeru has denoted on the map. Somewhere I must have taken a wrong turn. I tried to follow her directions to the letter, but there's nothing in sight. I shuffle closer to the shadows, peering out of the corner of my safety into the road. Several shady figures are gathered around a trash bin, laughing miraculously around smoldering cigarettes. Maybe I'm supposed to spy on them. No, I'm supposed to retrieve that file. Still, now I can see why Shigeru sent me. Despite her competency at verbal abuse, she's small in stature and can easily be overpowered by any of these thugs. Moreover, she doesn't seem licensed to carry a gun. So of course she decides to send a defenseless high school student in her stead. Makes sense. I creep around the side of the building, double checking my phone. Yep, right here. Give or take a couple feet. I scan my surroundings, but there's so much litter that I can't see anything particularly significant. Maybe I should ask Shigeru. No, this is my assignment. I need to do this on my own. I absentmindedly run my hands over the brick wall behind me, as if it'll keep me grounded. My fingers brush over something smooth. You're just touching the wall, feeling it. Wait a minute. I turn to examine the offending spot. A folded piece of paper is shoved between the cracks of the wall. Judging by how fresh it looks, it must have just been put there recently. Hesitantly, I extract it and skim over the words. Congratulations, Ishiyama. You are not a toddler. My subordinate set these instructions to reach the file. Ping pong ball falls down a very narrow pipe that is fixed to the ground. All you have is your ping pong paddle, shoelaces, and a water bottle. How do you retrieve it? He claims that the file is at the answer within half a block of your vicinity. A puzzle? Seriously? Tell Shigeru to get better directions. Let's try to solve it. Well, there's no getting around it. I have to solve this to find the file. Which object is key to the puzzle? Oh, I guess I should have read it more carefully. The water bottle? Sure. What part of the water bottle should I use? Oh, I didn't mean to click that. But it's good to save anyway. I don't know, contents? Something stuck somewhere, if you pour it down it will get it out? Was that what it said? I guess I should have read it more carefully. I thought it would show us though. Oh right, I could use the water in the bottle, which means I could just use water, go to the bottle in the pipe. What? Use the water, go to the bottle in the pipe, use force to push the bottle out. Pour the water down the pipe. Huh. Drink the water and urinate into the pipe. That seems like an awesome idea. Well, those balls, are they kind of light? Would it go down with the water? I don't know. We'll do that. I could simply pour the water down the pipe, the ball would float to the surface, and I could easily pick it out. Seems like that's the answer. In that case, it looks like the answer is water. I take another look at Shigeru's note. The file is at the answer within a half block of your vicinity. Does she mean that I have to look for a source of water? What does that even mean? Water's everywhere. The running faucets, the convenience store. No wait, there's an old fountain on the other side of the building. I walk a short way down the road. Sure enough, another obtrusive note is stuck to the rim of the inactive fountain. Figures, another note. I'm beginning to wonder if I'll ever find the file at all. Oh. Congratulations, Ishiyama. You are not a kindergartner. This is the next set of instructions. A petri dish holds a colony of bacteria. Every minute, each bacterium divides into two. Scientists began the colony with a single bacterium at 12 p.m. At 12:43, the dish is half full. At what time Will the dish be full? The answer is in the direction of which you must proceed to reach the file. Well, let's see. And the column 12. Almost in the or later. It's half full. I'm just gonna write that down. 12:43. Okay. She's enjoying this, I swear. Either way, it looks like I'll have to solve this puzzle too. Thanks a lot, Shigeru. Oops. So I have to put it in that format. So 12:43. Why is it 10? What? How do I... Oh, okay, I see. I had to press backspace. Not a valid... Okay. Jeebus. Makes you be oddly specific. 1, 2, 4, 4. Right. Okay, there we go. Right, if every bacterium divides into 2 per minute, that doesn't matter what time the colony was started. All that matters is that at 12:43 the dish was half full. Therefore, at 12:44 the dish would be completely full. So that was a completely useless puzzle that basically just told me to go forward. I walked down the road, keeping my eyes out for another slip of paper. And as expected, there's another note jammed conspicuously between the crevices of 2 buildings. My question is, why did Shigeru go through all this trouble? In order to get these notes in the first place, she'd have to come here, which utterly defeats the purpose of sending me. Well, whatever. Looks like there's another puzzle to solve. Congratulations, Ishiyama, you are not a 5th grader. This is the 3rd and ultimate, is that an N? Set of instructions. How can you throw a ball as hard as you can, not bounce it off of anything, and still have it returned to you? The answer is in the direction which you must proceed to reach the file. Throw it up in the air, it doesn't bounce off anything and you catch it. I wonder if complaining to her does anything. There's no getting around it, I just have to solve another puzzle. What do I need to change in order to have the ball come back to me without bouncing it off anything? What? Atmosphere? Just the direction. You throw it up in the air. Right, I can't bounce it off anything and I can't change the circumstances, which means I have to change direction. The question is what direction? Up? Oh right, gravity's still in effect. I just have to throw the ball upward in order to have it returned to me. So the answer is up, and then it says I have to go in that direction to reach the file. I locate a rickety 2-story building next to the canal. Guess that's where I'm supposed to go. I trudge up the stairs, enveloped in darkness. My only comfort is the light that comes from my phone. Eventually I come into a creepy storage room that's filled with all sorts of ominous shapes. I jerk backward as a dark shape bolts across the floor, but it's just a rat scurrying by. Shigeru's doing this on purpose, isn't she? I swivel around the obstacles, keeping my eyes peeled for another telling corner of white. Yeah, she put that rat there on purpose. Suddenly, a silhouette wavers in front of my face. Spider. Of all things, spiders. What if it poisons me, sinks its rabid teeth into my jugular vein, stabs its awful, spindly limbs straight through my heart, grows the size of... Okay, now, I'm just being stupid, right? Then it teasingly waves its odious, twisted little leg, nearly catching me on the nose. I instinctively stagger backwards, laying my hands before my face. The other day I was standing near a wall, and spiders I'm usually fine with, you know. I'll try and let them outside. It's winter now, so that would kill them, but, you know. It literally was running for me. I squished it. I felt bad, but it was like trying to attack me. My back slams into a hard, stony shape. I whip around, examining it fearfully. It's just a statue of a horse, plastered with a note, finally. Hands still shaking, I seize the note and pursue its contents. The sooner I can get out of here, the better. Congratulations, Ishiyama. You're not a middle schooler. This is the final set of instructions. A rich man tells his 2 sons to race their horses to a distant city to see who will inherit this fortune. The one whose horse is slower wins. After wandering aimlessly for days, the brothers ask a wise man for guidance. Upon receiving the advice, they jump on the horses and race to the city as fast as they can. What did the wise man say to them? The answer will show you where the file is located. Final set of instructions. I'm almost done. I actually feel somewhat disappointed. Despite my complaining and the spiders, I've actually enjoyed these challenges. At any rate, I guess I better solve this puzzle and find this file. What could the wise man have said? What's your 2-word answer? What? I don't even know. The one whose horse is slower wins. Go on in 2 days. I just ask the wise man. Let's see. Go home. I don't even know. It's probably something really simple and I'm just overthinking it because I always do that. When first the slower win, after wandering aimlessly for days, brother asked a wise man. Switch, whoops. Horses. Oh, okay, so I just was overthinking it then. Right, if they switched horses, then they would have to race in order to win. That's weird. I thought it was like some, you know. So their answer is to change horses. There must be another horse around here. I glance around for another equine statuette, flinching away from the multitudes of cobwebs spun around the corners. Thankfully, I spot one just a few feet away. That's really simple though, to switch horses. I thought it was just something, you know. It's easy to figure out though, once you think about it. Sure enough, there's a simple cream envelope slipped beneath its base. Could it actually be the file? Congratulations, Ishiyama. You may be slightly more capable than your worthless peers. There is no file, this was simply a test, and you passed. You may congratulate yourself, although frankly, it was such an easy test that there really is nothing worth congratulating. Take a picture of this note and send it to me as proof of your passable competence. Nice. Is she serious? Everything was fabricated. I almost can't believe it, but at the 3rd note, I guess a small part of me was expecting this turn of events. From the 1st note, you should have expected that. Still, she did plan all these notes on her own. Was that why the investigation was supposed to take place at night? So that she could have time to prepare everything? It's almost inconceivable, but it seems like the most likely option. And in all honesty, it's hardly beyond what I could imagine Shigeru to do. Sighing, I pocket the note and carefully pick my way down the stairs and into the street, steering clear of any corners or dark edges the best I can. Once I'm under some light, I can breathe a little easier. I take a quick snapshot of the note and send it to Shigeru without comment. She doesn't respond immediately, which probably means that she received it. With that, I stick to the shadows. I return to my apartment. It's time to get some rest. What, no Governor Mercher? Ooh, here we go. Wow, pretty forest. The evening welcomes me with frosted arms as I stride into my beloved glade. My lovely burden slug over my shoulders. The sky is clear tonight, bitter, vacant, a spiraling abyss in a sea of strangled lights. I take a moment to admire it as a familiar vegetation is crushed beneath my soles. Nothing constrains me, no incompetent bureaucracies, no iron gates, no suffocating schedules, not at this hour, not at my hour. I dump my burden upon the ground, watching as she lulls away, still in the haze of beauty sleep. Innocent, peaceful, dreadful. I ready my knife, taking my earnest vigil at his side. When the princess awakens, her guardian will be eagerly waiting. Erg. Oh, that was terribly quick. I stoop next to my burden as she jerks upright, eyes rolling in panic. Good morning, sweetie. Where am? Her voice trails into indistinguishable croaks as her wide, pale eyes fix on me. I spare a chuckle. What, expecting someone else? How did I get here? How else? I settle for a moment, allowing her to take in her surroundings, allowing her to see how dire her situation is. What fun is it without a tinge of panic? But please don't hurt me, please. What makes you think I would hurt you? Maybe holding a knife? So, you'll let me leave? I casually lift my serrated weapon, allowing it to catch the moonlight at just the right angle. Now why would I do that? I advance towards her slowly. She ekes away, pulling her weight by her hands. But she's too tremulous to even attempt to run. A little dull, but vermin are vermin. Please, I have a mom, a dad, a boyfriend. I want to study, I want to grow up. Usually it's cute when they beg, but this girl is bothering me. Well, I want to have a little carving practice, so what shall we do? Carving practice? Imbecile, my fingers twitch with impatience. Yes, carving practice, and I best get started. Ooh. Those noises. I savor my moment with her leisurely, meticulously. She tried to waste my time. I ought to return the favor. I finish all too quickly. The screams die in my ears as fading echoes of stilled crimson plummet from the edge of my blade. The beautiful mess scattered across the ground is a sight for sore eyes. I take a moment to savor it. My canvas, my masterpiece, the heart of my soul and soul of my heart. If only it could have lasted a little while longer. Finished? Huh. Shadow slips from behind the trees, plodding unceremoniously on top of my finished work. Watch your steps, you're desecrating chef d'oeuvre. The figure only stands in silence, waiting for my reply. I attempt a different line of questioning. Where are the others? Elsewhere. So I gathered. Are they coming? No. So who shall pick up my toys? I gesture to the artwork beneath the figure's feet. It doesn't budge. Me. You? Yes. By yourself? Yes. Call for the others. No. Why not? Leave if you are finished. It is certainly a one-sided balance of power. I can do nothing but esquies. I'm finished. Step away, but as the figure approaches my canvas, I swoop in, sliding my knife against its neck. Don't be so proud of yourself. The moment you are of no use to me, I shall have my way with you. It only stares unblinkingly at me, unfazed. Not finished? Equal parts disgusted and perturbed, I withdraw my weapon. I'm finished. Finished with you too. Huh. Interesting. I turn to the brighter horizon, striding away without a backward glance. just randomly kill someone in the forest. When I arrive at school, still bleary-eyed from my nighttime excursions, I'm greeted with an unusual sight. A group of students, primarily female, are huddled around the post. As I edge closer, I manage to listen in. Your fault. She was wrong about you, and now she's gone. What did you do with her, you freak? Where is she? Tell me where she is, please. Answer him. How could you do this to us? Huh? Suddenly, Rui blazes by me right into the center of the group, which bounces back in shock. I'm barely able to catch a glimpse of her face through the massive heads. What are you guys doing? Out of the way, Rui. This has nothing to do with you. No, I'm tired of this. You've been picking on her since school started, and you don't even have a good reason. Good reason? Talk to Shoji. He's our good reason. The group shuffles apart, granting me some space. I finally managed to see the cause of the problem. A slight figure crouched against the gate with an empty look in. Wait, isn't that the same girl that I met yesterday? Well, Shoji? She's been missing for 2 days and no one can find her. Didn't go home. Doesn't answer calls or texts. It's like she just disappeared. Disappeared, just like the rumors said. You guys do remember who started the rumors, right? Look, Rui, this would make the third disappearance. Haven't you been watching the news? Yeah, this is the 3rd time that an academy student's vanished off the face of the planet. And coincidentally, right after talking to Eri. Huh. Technically, Midori disappeared before school started. Yeah, just like 2 days before. Why are you so stubborn? Eri's guilty. Why are you so stubborn? Maybe she's not. You clearly don't understand how people work. No wonder you don't have any friends. Hey, that's rude. Rui's face closes in hurt, and a raw, fiery pang of rage courses through my body. I storm to her side, unceremoniously shoving away anyone in my path. Yama? Oh, you. Who's this, your boyfriend? My anger briefly sojourns into panic, but I shove it away. You're all disgusting, picking on someone just because she's not like you. Hey, you don't even know the context, butt out. And oh, let me guess, you know everything. You know for certain that Aiko... Oh, Eri. Has anything to do with these disappearances. Twice is a coincidence, thrice is a pattern. A pattern for narrow-sighted people who won't take in any other factors. Are you stupid? There aren't any other patterns. The police said so themselves. Oh, and they told you this directly? It was on the news, moron. And it's not like the news has ever twisted the facts or told us anything but the honest truth. You wouldn't be acting so high and mighty if you knew how important Akane is. You wouldn't be acting so prejudiced if you had a brain. Words are spilling out of my mouth before I even consciously think of them. My whole body thrums with cold, frozen hatred. Weird freak, don't want to play with you. I'm not letting anyone else go through that. Not Rui, not Eri. You think we're being rude to Eri? You're being rude to Shoji. Yeah, she was the love of Shoji's life. Because everyone knows that every high school relationship lasts forever. He'll probably get over her in a week or 2. Hey, some of them do. A dead silence descends on the group. Rui pinches my sleeves, her expression unusually troubled. That went a bit too far, Yama. I only clench my jaw and lock eyes with the boy called Shoji. His face blinks from panic to nothingness in less than a second. A chilled silence falls over the entrance. You. He staggers forward, raising a tremulous hand. You bastard. He pulls... Oh, his finger pulls into a fist, and before I can blink, his hand is soaring straight at me. It was kind of a mean thing to say, especially, you know, if she died, which she probably did, considering what we saw in the forest. A shadow blurs in front of me, swiping at Shoji's arm. Shoji tumbles to the ground as if thrown by an unknown force. The moment is held on pause, broken only by the frantic whispers of the gathering crowd around us. Shoji jerkily pushes himself to his feet, his footing loose from fury. Mary idly steps in front of me, arms hanging limply by her sides. Her expression is passive, but something about it gives Shoji pause. Hey, what's going on over here? Oh, it's a cool teacher. Mr. Ayata pushes the throng of students apart, books hiked under one arm. All the students start to babble at once. Mr. Ayata, Akine's been absent for 2 days. Can't contact her. This guy provoked Shoji into a fight. Mr. Ayata waves his hand for silence, an unusually stern expression on his face. Shoji, are you hurt? No, sir. Good. Rui? Yes, Mr. Ayata? Meet me during lunch. You too, Noriko. Yes, Mr. Ayata. Both of you will give me your account of what just happened. I'll make a judgment after I've heard both stories. Understood? Sullen silence meets his inquires. He only sighs. Accusations are for children. You guys know that, right? If you're going to claim something, use evidence. If you're going to fight, make sure you have the right reason. Dismissed. He waves his hands to scatter us off to class. I'm gonna play for a little bit more and then stop. I'm gonna save. I think there's multiple endings, so I guess I should like save in different spots, but you know. We head to the classroom in silence, splitting ways at the staircase. I notice that Rui keeps close to Eri, stubbornly meeting the gaze of any gawkers en route. Well, looks like I'm gonna get in trouble. Surprise, surprise. I probably shouldn't have interfered with that situation. I probably should have stayed out of it. Usually I do. I know that high school is basically just a cesspool of idiocy, and it's best to keep out of it. But not even high school life in general. But seeing that girl there, hedged in by such a large group of students, being accused with nothing to defend herself, and seeing Rui leap to her defense just like she did for me 10 years ago, well, I guess it brought out something that surprised even myself. If anyone has a right to suspect that girl, it should be me. First I meet her walking alone in District 6, acting like some creepy mechanical doll, and then I learn that her reputation at school is sketchy at best. That's suspicious even by my standards, and I'm friends with Yahiko. But it's possible that everything is a misunderstanding. It's possible that she really just wants friends, that she's a normal person inside, that she just had a difficult time conveying her thoughts. I understand that feeling. I understand it more than anyone else. Ahem. I shake myself into my thoughts and take in my surroundings. Huh, looks like some of the morning classes have passed. Yeah, I totally wasn't paying attention. In front of me, 3 girls with hair and makeup arranged just like Elizabeth stand with a very indignant, superior expression. I quickly recognize them as the most avid members in her fan club. Wow. Okay. I'm gonna stop streaming right now. I got some stuff to do. Thanks, you know, for everyone who stopped by the stream. Looks like we're finally getting into some of the scarier aspects of the game, but not quite. Anyway, thanks for stopping by. See ya.